My name is Julian Del Rey, and I'm a fine art artist currently working at Riot as a senior content artist for skins. I'm going to show you guys my sketchbook.
Yeah. Yes.
Basically, this is a group of drawings that I do as a warm-up. So sometimes I go to a coffee shop and I sit down myself for an hour or two and do this. So the topic is very random, just to get out of my chest some ideas. So yeah, this one. This is actually inspired by Francetta. It relaxes me a lot. The horse scratching and the tram.
I love the ink work.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is more like a superhero kind of thing. Trying to emulate the Jack Kirby style. I love comic books. I was just not thinking about anything, really, just throwing ideas out. I probably was very stressed that day. I like drawing faces and hands and stylized. Maybe it looks a bit creepy, but I like it.
I love the stylization of the hand.
Oh, thank you. This is more like what I do on a regular basis at work, like more superhero, League of Legends kind of style. I also want to push myself in the perspective, because sometimes I do just as characters with flat background, so I decide to do like more forcing the perspective a little bit more. So it's like a training basically. When I do this, yes, but also fine artists like Legend Decker as well. Mm-hmm. I like the stylization of Legend Decker, but mainly it's like comic book artists or illustrators. Sergio Topi is a really good one. Check it out. Mike Mignola as well. Sometimes I like to do manga. I don't know why. For me, it's very relaxing. Also, I think from anime and manga, I really like how they push the anatomy and how they push the perspective, and they are not afraid to go crazy with all these things. Like, they're not content. Yeah. Oh, and one thing that I really like is pro markers or Copics. I really like pro markers more, but yeah, just to play with values. It's a good exercise if you want to improve your value range, because on computer you can always go Control Zeta and it's done, and it's undone. But in this case, on paper, you cannot fake it. So if you do mistakes, they are always there. So it's a good way to train yourself. I always try to apply what I learn in real life and live drawing. Also, an exercise that I do is drawing on trains and buses, because I think it's a really good training to improve your pulse when you draw. So I did this in a train trip. You can see here how the line is shaking a little bit. Yeah, and here, like, yeah.
How do you feel about people watching you while drawing in public?
I don't mind when people watching me drawing. Like,
so you get used to it?
Yeah. For me, it's okay. Also, it's a good way to break the ice with people and start a conversation.
Oh wow, I love the faces.
Oh, thank you. I love to do faces. I think it's like be in my comfort zone, do faces, different stylizations, different shapes, also treatments, like a more cartoony, more like realistic. Olivier Coipel is a really good inspiration for that. That the way he does all the line work. Yeah. And sometimes I just do this for having fun. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, when I have an idea for a character, I just throw the character and keep it this as a backup, and then maybe I took a picture of this. Let's say this character took a picture of this and put it in Photoshop and work it more. Here as well, try to make cool poses. I struggle a lot still with this leg, but
The infamous spread standing leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I love how you push the shapes on the chin, for example, of her.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like making it pointy but not too far, that still the ratio works. And making also the eyes a bit bigger here.
Yeah.
It's a really cool ratio.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
But what do you think about developing, like you have definitely a style which is like separated from other things, like other styles of artists. How do you think that developed? Was it more of a natural thing for you while drawing the things that inspired you, or?
It's more that things that I see that inspires me, and I realize that you can do that. So I try to replicate. For example, I'm a really fan of collecting figures, like Ashley Good figures, and I really love how he pushed the anatomy. So I try to replicate those in my characters as well. Like I was afraid at the beginning to do maybe the head a bit small or smaller compared with the body or compared with the legs and the arms. Nowadays I feel more comfortable with that, and I think it looks really, really cool. There is a few samples here as well, like from exercise that I do. Yeah. This is like a training for me. It's like a going to the gym for my brain.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. And usually I draw things that I cannot draw at work. Like for example, this is maybe too much. So I try to do it because I like too many themes. Not only fantasy, but yeah. Oh, you can see the coffee is here, so I just keep it. Yes. It was full.
But it looked like it's part of his face.
Yeah, like I did by purpose, like paw. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I have an idea for a superhero, maybe a character that can evolve. So this is the normal stage.
Is pencil your preferred medium, or is there anything you prefer?
This is I prefer really nowadays like mechanical pencil, 0.5, and actually these ones, I love these ones. Yeah, it's Pilot G-Tech C4. This is really thin.
It's a ballpoint, right?
Yeah. And so it's really, really thin, and you can do like a really, really small details. An eye here. Let's see. This is super small but precise. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Eyes. This is an exercise that I do a lot. How to, for example, I put the same face and different eyes, and the character changes completely, and the mood is totally different. Just by changing the shape of the eyes. It's amazing. And it's something that in anime and manga artists, they do a lot. So I think it's a good exercise too. This is like a beach story that I did, like a teenage girl. It's a superhero kind of thing. I don't know what this story is going to be, but here we go. Some aesthetics here. Yeah, it's for a girl with the sniper, a guy with a shield, and maybe this guy with a big gun and a horse. So I start with this. I do like a close-up of a blocking of the pose, maybe expression for the face to develop the character, more exercises for the pose, more poses here, manga stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I really like the manga stuff because I feel like there's really the combination of the things you usually do and the like trying to go more in the manga direction. But still pushing the stylization.
Oh, something just crazy stuff. I don't know what it was, but yeah. Sometimes I do studies about shapes.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, with no reason and stuff.
So when it comes to shapes, what, like, shapes is such a big, broad topic, right? Do you think about one main shape when you draw something, or is it more like a combination of shapes you like?
It depends. Some characters come really, really easy about the shape. Like, let's say a character is really fast, for example, or it moves really quickly. It's with two guns, for example. For me, the shape should be a like triangle. So it's very dynamic, fast. For me, I associate with an arrow, so it's very like fast.
Okay.
Or a bullet. So that's what I choose my shapes. But yeah, and sometimes it's a combination of shapes, but it takes more time for me.
Okay. So when you think about a stable character, you really go for something like a square.
Exactly. Yeah, a square or like a rounded. If it's something really, really, if the character has to be really nice and approachable, I use more rounded shapes.
What would you recommend on the people who have really trouble with that to practice this?
Oh, silhouettes. What I do, for example, in digital a lot is with the lasso tool. I do just random shapes, and I fill with in black, for example, and it's about to do like maybe 50 shapes. Like, go ahead and try about random thoughts about characters. So that exercise helps a lot to just keep your brain or the way of thinking like really, really quick. And also you can apply on the sketchbook when you draw, like, oh, I have this shape in my head. Yes, this is for this character. Let's say a tank, or let's say a giant with a sword or with an axe. Is like, oh, big square, or maybe the head is like a small circle. So you combine both. If you have, like an exercise, you need to have your mind ready for all of these things. Yeah, it's like a mental library, But also stuff from video games as well. Like this is very Street Fighter kind of thing. You can see here as well. But not from the video game actually. This is from the anime, Dark Stalkers as well. Like I'm a huge fan of Capcom aesthetics. Also cartoon here. Sometimes I get so tired about realistic, stylized, so I go more into cartoon just to have fun. Yeah. Also, sometimes I don't draw the full eyes, just put these dots. Pom, pom. It's still working, I guess. And yeah. Oh, this one, for example.
Wow.
So, yeah. So this one is, I can show you the final piece for this. It's in digital, but this is the sketch. And this is for a story that I'm working on. I want to make a book with illustrations. So it's like an illustrated book. The story is not there yet, but I'm just playing around with the flow in the page and shapes. So basically it's all about shapes. I always also get inspired by animation, like Amy Thompson or Stylization actually. You can see the Dracula here, but I want to push the shapes to the limit. And at the beginning it was no any idea. I didn't have any idea in my head about this. Just start with her face, and I was just building all the shapes around her, and that helps you to work in your problem solving as well, for composition, for character design as well. So it's a really good exercise. This, for example, I made it in the airplane as well. These ones, this one and the next one. Yeah. the size of the head maybe is not realistic, but it works with all the elements like the torso.
Because of the shape correlation.
Exactly, yeah. The leg is super long, but it's not realistic, so it still makes sense. And this as well, like I did, yeah, yesterday I did this, for example, and this one I start with blocking with Copics, the shape, and I start building. Based on the shape, I start building the character, but I didn't have any idea about the character. It was about, oh, I have this shape, how can I make a character inside this shape that works? So yeah.
Nice.
So this is my sketchbook.
So, guys, put the thumbs up. Big thanks to Julian in the comments, please, and please all go follow him on Instagram.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.